大家好，我叫丹尼。今天我会给你们介绍一下罗马尼亚，这是我的国家。I'm going to start speaking in English. I'm going to try to speak slowly and clearly. Yeah, I'm really excited for this opportunity to give you a presentation of my country, of my home country. Romania is located in the eastern part of Europe. Because of its position, we have a really interesting climate. That is, in the winter, it gets really, really cold, down to minus 20 degrees Celsius. And in the summers, it gets up to 35 plus degrees Celsius, which is very, very hot. And it's really, really dry. So it's very different to what Taiwan feels like. In terms of population, my home country has a population of 19 million people. And the surface of the country is just about 230,000 square kilometers. So you might be wondering why is it called Romania? What's with this name? It's a bit odd. Well, it's called Romania because we were called along the ages Romani, which is literally descendants of Rome or citizens of Rome. Why is that? Because Romania at some point in the past has been a Roman province. Yes, that's true. So this means that our culture and our language has been influenced by the Roman ways. That also means that our vocabulary is very influenced by Latin, by the dead language. So 60% of our vocabulary right now is made up of Latin words, which is a great part of our vocabulary. What language do I speak then? I speak Romanian, that's how the language is called, and I am Romanian. So how does Romanian sound like actually? You wanna find out? Okay, we're gonna find out. I'm gonna teach you 3 simple things in Romanian to say. If you're gonna use this when you go to Spain or Italy, or even France, you might have a bit of luck in surprising people. They're gonna be like, what? How do you know that? So the first thing I wanna teach you is ce faci. Ce faci. You can say it with me. Ce faci. You just said, how are you? What are you doing? The second thing I wanna teach you is Merci. And you're like, what? This sounds familiar. Yeah, it is very familiar because that's how you say it in French, right? Thank you. Merci. And then the third one is la revedere. Now this is a mouthful, especially for Asian people. It's really a mouthful. So I'm gonna say it again. La revedere. Very good. If you repeat it with me, I heard it. It was really, really good. This means goodbye or see you later. So you see how Romanian sounds really, really similar with Italian, with French, with Spanish. So it's really easy for us to learn these 3 languages. That's why it's one of these countries are the main destinations for Romanians when they try to migrate to different countries. Why is Romania actually important to the world? And why is that? It's because we have people that invented wonderful stuff. For example, we have this guy here that you see on screen. His name is Traian Vuia. He invented the first tractor monoplane, and he brought major contributions to aerodynamics and aircraft building. We have this other fellow here. His name is Petrache Poenaru, and he's the first one to invent the fountain pen. Or this lady right here that invented the anti-aging cream. Yeah, that's right. That was invented in Romania. That's surprising, right? We know what Romania is, how our language sounds like, and what we are about. I like by the authority that I have as a Romanian citizen to officially invite you to come and visit Romania. I mean, I cannot just invite you to my home country and expect you to come, so I will try to convince you to come to Romania. I really hope that I will succeed, and by the end of this presentation, you'll be at least interested to come visit. Why visit Romania? Firstly, because there's a place you will find amazing places to see. Romania is full of castles, citadels, and palaces. One of the most famous palaces is called the Parliament Palace. You're seeing it right now. It is the heaviest building in the world. I don't know who measured that. I have no idea. But it hosts the two chambers of the parliament, of the Romanian Parliament, and it is located in the capital of Romania, Bucharest. You see now some images of Bucharest, which is such a beautiful city. When you look at these buildings and at this architecture, you realize why it was called the Little Paris. So you can really understand why, because it's such a similar city to Paris. So this might be one that you want to visit someday. And if you're not a person that likes to spend time in the cities and you prefer the nature, we've got you as well. So let's take a look at what Romania has to offer in terms of nature or natural sceneries. We have miles and miles of fields filled with lilies. So you can go with your family and just wander around and pick lilies. If summer isn't for you, we have winter sceneries. So in these images here, we have the beautiful city of Brașov. You can appreciate how much snowfall we have every single winter. So you can imagine how cold it is. Here you can go skiing. You can do all sorts of winter sports. Or if you prefer just having a cozy walk through the Christmas market, then this is the place for you as well. If you don't like the Christmas market, and if you don't like walking through a city in the winter, you could go up hiking in the Romanian forest. Romania has hectares upon hectares upon hectares of lush forests, of rich forests, of green forests, and the air there is amazing. There's a lot of clean rivers, and the sights are unbelievable. Now, if that isn't for you, wait, there's more. If you prefer, as a Taiwanese person, to ride your scooter and watch sceneries just by riding your scooter, we've got you. We've really got you. We have this beautiful, beautiful road called Transfăgărășan. Oh, I even stumbled while trying to say it in Romanian. So it's a really tricky word. You're going to see it. It's really, really long. Transfăgărășan. Okay, I made it. So this road is a very, very important touristic attraction. People from all over the world come and drive on this road. And I mean, me explaining while you seeing the images is superfluous. You just see the image and you realize why. Now, if you're not a person that likes driving, if you don't like picking up lilies, if you don't like going to the Christmas market, what do we have for you? Maybe you're a person that likes to just learn about the history and learn about the old stuff, and maybe have a calm hike in nature, and at the same time take a look at an old building, old castle, old church. We've got you. These in the image here are churches built at least 500 years ago, and they are all part of the UNESCO heritage, which means that they are valued by the researchers and by scientists. And this in particular is called the Boronets Monastery. It's one of the most important touristic attractions in that part of the country. And why is it so important is because it was built around 500 years ago, and the colors still hold, the murals still hold. The blue is so intense after so many centuries that the scientists have named this shade of blue the Voronezh blue. So it's really, really interesting to see and watch. Now, if I bore some of you with this, maybe I'm gonna catch your attention with the next thing that we have on our menu, is the Danube Delta. And if the mountain doesn't speak to you, you could try and listen for the voice of the sea, or better yet, the voice of the Danube River. This being the largest river in Romania, the second largest river in Europe. It spans over 3,000 kilometers. It crosses, I think, around 10 countries and 4 capitals. It's a really big river. And when it reaches Romania, it just explodes with life, explodes with beauty. And it holds around, this river holds, and this delta holds around 4,000 species of animals and 1,000 species of plants. Most of them which can be found in the Delta Danube, and the images you see right now, I think, speak for themselves. But if that isn't for you, don't worry, there's more on the menu. And we turn back to buildings and castles, and these are some castles you might see in Transylvania. Castles like Brand Castle, Corvin Castle, Culture Palace, and of course the Palace Castle with more than 170 rooms and built more than 2 centuries ago. That's the background image right now. So these are marvelous places where you can go and actually learn about the Romanian history and about the European history as well. Now, ultimately, if you feel like life above ground isn't for you, and if you feel like you don't find yourself in any of the things mentioned so far, I would say don't despair, because there's something else on the menu. We have underground life for you. And what is that? Well, I'm about to recommend to you salt mine. And I'm about to recommend to you one in particular. It's called Turda Salt Mine, and it's a very beautiful place. In this salt mine, you can go deep more than 100 meters underground, and people from all across the country come there to have medical treatments. But not only that, you could go there and have fun. Like, you could go and take long walks. The air there is incredible for your lungs, and it's really, really healthy. And the doctors always recommend it. You can go there and play soccer. You can go there and play ping pong and billiards. You can take a boat ride on a lake 100 meters under the ground, which you can see probably right now. It's an immense place, and you can do a variety of stuff there. And I highly encourage you to come and test it yourself. And if I didn't attract you with the places, I hope that maybe the food will stir your interest, because we have really nice food, really delicious food, like food that contains pork and beef. And I know Taiwanese people, I got you at beef. When you heard beef, you're like, I'm going, So these are just some of the foods I'm gonna name: mamaliga, sarmale, gulash and pâine. My words will fit the images, so I hope you'll enjoy that, and maybe you're gonna look for recipes online on how to do those. And then when we come to desserts, we like our desserts, and we have papanash, we have cornulețe cu gem, and of course we have cozonac, which is, I start just feeling the homesickness right now, just thinking about them. I want to leave you though with something I think more valuable, if you're going to make a trip to Romania or not. Something that you can have a taste of Romania from here is if I share with you people from Romania. So I want to share with you 3 personalities from Romania, Christian personalities. And the first one is Liviola, a Christian in the western part of the country, whose work was influential in the church back home. Iosif Țon, who you see right now on the screen. And his work is also really influential, and his doctrine and his books have really helped Christians in Romania for decades. And the last one that I cannot emphasize enough is Richard Wurbrandt. He has been, the last 2 actually have been persecuted for their faith in the communist prisons in Romania in the last couple of decades, and they wrote stories about it. And the last one, Richard Wurbrandt's stories, are just incredible. And I think it's worth taking your time and reading about the last one. And he has a book, With God Underground, that talks about his history there and about his experience there. And I think that is far more valuable. What you can find in there is far more valuable than any scenery that you can see in Romania or any food that you can taste there. And it's truly our heritage. So maybe take a look at that when you have time. Well, until we see each other in Romania, I want to thank you very kindly for listening and for paying attention. And I want to say, la revedere, pa pa.